Okay, so you know that the blaring still happening here in Illinois. Oh my God, these people here. I'm in the Moon Towers, as you know, in my apartment. It's supposed to be temporary, so we're waiting for. I don't remember her name, but I could say things that she worked on previous. Some good. There's like some needs a little bit more improvement. Uh, but she said it's temporary 2 months. And anyway, nevertheless, we just heard in the blaring here that somebody said if they don't do it, we just gonna go back and they're gonna pretty much have people expire in the city if they don't alter a police report. Now we all know across the United States of America, every single police station, court is right now in what they call a dummy system. There's only specific people that they don't see that has access to the real system, listens to an audio, watches video footage, and verifies any allegation, and they go with the warrants on the actual suspect or the person that's lying. This is across the United States of America. It's going to be like that, as they said, for 8 years. But most likely, in government, they are changing the system. I was training to be a part of the post board. My number is C99N69 in California. So whatever new system they're gonna come up with, these people gonna put their credentials in, and that's gonna hit a dummy system, and they're active, and that's some FBI agents, peace officers, and CIA agents, and even some Homeland Security agents. This stuff it's gonna hit, and when it hits, it's gonna go to a dummy system, which is automatically gonna go to straight to, as you know, a whole new to handle business like hardcore, which we all know based on what happening in America, the consequence is going to be so swift and dire that these people ain't going to have a second chance to correct themselves. Now, I'm going to tell you what I investigated. I investigated um, the app for Green Dot that partners with Walmart. I investigated the welfare system, which was why we couldn't get any benefits, especially food stamps in California in 2021. I investigated a medical, and this was based off of a few of us having some issues, like a whole city. Unbeknownst to us, that generally workers, we work hard. Right now, I'm in entrepreneur mode, and I'm in startup. I just had to let the federal courts know that I won't even open up to 2025 until HUD and Urban Development Department, FEMA, perfect or do some more improvements on their programs, which they're actively doing for grants and such, and also giving timelines, appropriate timelines of when they can apply, if they can do it 2 times a year versus 1 time a year, um, and if it's going to be different based upon family size. So, for example, for HUD and urban development, you might have to relocate. You're a working person, and you called every resource to help you with rehousing, deposit. And if you meet the criteria and you do like the 3 classes that HUD requires, in order for you to get that funding, unless if it's an emergency, like say you have a family of five, instead of you being relocated to a hotel room, which is a family of five, and you have two adults, you get two rooms, something like that. Or you get like a specific amount. If you have family of five, you have two girls, one boy, mom and dad. But you also are in need of a second, one extra bedroom because that other child will need their extra space. But you're a working parent. You're both working. So looking at the amount that they allow, you might not be able to get that apartment, or you might not be able to get that house because you won't have enough funds to do the deposit and at least and the utility expense. So once they been working on it, and we've done there's like training. I'll be on like training after training after training that's on there. So the Federal Bureau is working on that. Also, like staff. So we worked the Section 8 housing authority. Um, we have specific apartments that would raise the rent over twice. Like they'll raise it and then they'll get approval. Then they'll send another bill to housing authority or request to raise the rent second. And they're like, yeah, okay, it's at market value. And they'll say, yeah. And then boom, they're like, okay, we can get another amount. Third, excuse me, a third amount. Uh, and they say, no, denied. But based off of the agreement and the amount of money that the person makes, it might put the person at homelessness. So those are things that I worked on, and I worked on what was it? Hacking computers, cellular devices, um, work from home, which is remote working, which they stopped allowing it in specific hacking. So I worked a few cases of wondering where are these attorneys and all this. So there's like 33 items that we worked, some medical stuff. Like you might see, hey, this is I can do a blood panel, but it's in your medical record for that day. And you're like, I didn't do a blood panel. So those are things that I worked. So everybody's like, what did she lie about? Nothing, because we all got video footage. And we're wondering, what is it that she lied on? Because, well, it's all medical and documentation. Medical records was sent up to the attorney general and was sent other places. So the only thing that we do know is someone used my credentials. They started using certain credentials that we have for working for the state, which we have called a per ID. In the state of California, you have a per ID. Per ID number is for uh, the system when you are working for them. So that goes to Sacramento. So your per ID number is different from your chip number. Your chip number allows you to go into a prison, which can also be considered your Cal HR number. So someone had used that, which is a crime. It's not state; it's federal crime. So some of you that will view this, some put this public, are wondering why did my relative get like 13 years in prison for this? You know what I'm saying? That no, you use a state, whether retired or inactive or active employee, you use their information, it is federal prison. I have a peace officer credential, which is what I said, C99N69. This is public. Using that number and you're not myself, you can get federal prison time, which they're wondering. I got eight, which we heard I was supposed to get 4 to 8 years in prison. They have now 18 years in federal prison. And it's not just myself that has been breached, it's quite a few. And some of this is coming out that a federal agent has instructed, and this is allegedly because I heard this person is not, but they're acting as if they are, has used that number. When you see something that I do, you'll hear me say 3807 is my badge number. And then there's another number that's 7423 something something. And then there's another number 178. These are numbers that these agents have given me because I'm interning and with the Federal Bureau because of what my businesses will be doing. Everybody knows it. It's already written. We have federal court that already knows. And the good part is, through all of this, it's all documented sweetly. Like, yep, this is how you identify her. So people have used that and they literally landed their butts in prison for 8 to 18 years. And all they can say is, what the heck? Um, so we're waiting for this Caucasian males that's going across the United States of America. Nobody reported on the blaring because the blaring reports itself. It's monitored by Homeland Security, National Security, and they have a judge that writes constant warrants or summons. Just and it's crazy, but it's not. We don't report on the blaring because the people that need to witness it are already in court or they're already in office. They don't need to witness, they just have to identify this person by voice or and by sight. If we do it, it's just to identify, hi, we identify a victim or we identify a suspect, and this is where I'm located. This is the time. So please get into anything, which is a camera, get into the satellite so you can identify them and they can get an apprehension if it's something that's detrimental and is not a ticket. So we're all wondering what it is because once again, these police officers, federal agents, we have quite a few, and I'm going to add it because I don't care. You know, uh, being on post means your internal affairs. So we're going to tell you how the blaring really goes. With the blaring, the noise, it does go to court. It goes in a transcript. I can give one example. I had a case about my business. There's a Caucasian family that keeps saying that they want a business. So I say, no, not yet. No, 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 no. I said, no, that's it. No more. You may not do business. And they kept harassing. Well, they went to court. They got a restraining order, which is disheartening for some because some of it's kids. And we don't like to ruin kids' lives, because an adult is the one that's pushing them. So if they're like 18, 19, and they have somebody 50, 60, 90 pushing them, we don't want to ruin their life. We want your life ruined by being documented that you're a thief. So, um, in that video, in that court proceeding, um, it's it's disheartening. But out there, we did see an agent pull a transcript from the blaring. Nothing. nothing detrimental. Then we've seen transcripts pulled, and there's a lot. So we let people know right off the bat, wherever you are, if you are plotting and planning something, they already know. So it's best for these agents not to do it because, from what we were told, it's not even by a judge and some higher ups. This is not worth your life. This not worth you. You went to criminal justice class. You had to take oaths just being in there. You had to sign paperwork. This blaring is considered a terroristic action. The blaring is under a federal contract for state and federal employees as well as county employees. Meaning you cannot bother us with your mess. We can't lie on it because we get 10 years in federal prison plus a $10,000 fine. The people that are saying it are actually getting over $200,000 fines, losing their homes and their credentials, and they're losing their freedom. And I'm gonna tell you why they're losing it. They mad because some of the community people nestled up one of their co-workers. Now they're with babies. Now they're in a new group of friends. Or they didn't like them. I like that man. And this is one allegation that we heard. So and so like this man in uniform. They happen to see her with Sally Sue. Sally Sue's brother is now dating her. The male likes Sally Sue. The other girl likes him. So they're doing allegations. He touched her inappropriately. What? How? What? That makes no sense. Or I hate that man so bad. I know he was there. He wasn't at home. Hmm. There's a report by community, not by the victim. If you know anything in statistics about victims of any type of sexual assault or even harassment, it goes unreported over 50%, period, by the victim. It is always someone else that is vigilant, detailed, and the hairs on their arms, necks, legs, everywhere stands up and says red flag, and they report it. So that's the real allegations that we have. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It's all in court. And this is such a black eye for the United States of America because you got these morons that don't know nothing about anybody, but they got their name in their mouth. Can you change your statement? Can you say this? Because we heard, and you're like, here goes my itinerary because I got my tickets. All these tickets went to the legislature because it's under the the terroristic part of this, which is a terroristic action. Here goes my train ticket. My train tickets all go to Washington, D.C. because it says Washington, D.C. on every last ticket. Flight, Washington, D.C. So, and they're all coded that way. So they're like, can you change your statement? And you're like, no one did a statement. What statement are you talking about? looking at them sideways. Well, I heard you was on Show Road in Missouri, but doesn't exist, by the way. And you seen Officer Smith with Sally Sue. We have a report from Jane Doe, and it says you were there at Hotel X, and you heard her scream. Whole time, my train ticket or my plane ticket, because that's what this is what happens when we have to go round and round to get people. Come on, let's go. It's time to turn yourself in. Time to get you behavioral health. Right now they're closed, and you're in like you're 8 states over. Okay, I'm just gonna say this: not all black people look alike. Not all Caribbeans look alike. Not all Mexicans look alike. Not all whites look alike. But you do too have some lookalikes. But not all of us look alike. Every place we go during that time, and we're turning a step to the federal agents, you will have somebody with the Federal Bureau of Internal Affairs traveling with you, watching you, documenting you, and turning it into their superior in the courts before you can get your evidence in, or as they call it, the supporting documents in to a damn court. So we have people here. Can you change your statement? They're like, yeah, I will do it by force. How much money is it? You're bribing the peace officer agent, what have you, is bribing you to do a false statement. In the commandments of a peace officer and a federal agent, it says, I will not take or pursue or engage in false statements. That's verbally, that's publicly, or discreetly. So this will be handed over to the police department. This is just something that we know. Now we're on two different cases from back in the 2000s and 20s, early, and some a little bit the teens of inappropriate touching and rape that a totally different department is now looking at. This is ridiculous. Only thing that these people want is to see an affidavit. These are not police officers or federal agents. Everybody at the bureau has already seen any affidavits that were written from 2015, because that's where it goes back to 2021. Mines are accurate because it's the best of my knowledge. And there's camera, there's audio, there's video, and there's police report upon police report to actually coincide what the hell has what I remember. That's how this is going. But they say they want to put 5 people in there. But verbally, I sure did say some stupid stuff, because one thing you're not going to do is you're not going to ear hustle at a window. You're not going to put something that's in the house as an illegal listening device. If I can click it off, that's illegal. If I can go into the house and I can say, turn it off, state employee, and we can hear something, that means it's illegal. If you have a robot sent into someone's home discreetly, that means you are doing something illegal. Do not proceed. I caught one time, and this is something nobody else knows, other than Texas, where they had received it. Texas Rangers had gotten it, and they had to track back every freaking step and found the corporates that had sent a robot in a quote unquote unopened printer that was allegedly to be sent by my company I work for, which is illegal due to HIPAA violation because I work pharmaceutical from home. It was sent to a different location than what was where the warehouse says it was supposed to be. In the system, it stated, and there's a case number that coincides with it. That's something nobody knows. That the printer was still in warehouse. So it allowed the federal agents to get the person they needed to, which is right around in this area where I am, which is dangerous. So I'm going to share this. Now, you civil rights people, you got your work cut out because it's all facts. And I worked semi with the Bureau back then. So, deuces, Anicia out.